Joining me now is Dr. Valerie Taylor. She's president of the Association of Chairs in Psychiatry, and she's a psychiatric chair at the University of Calgary. Dr. Taylor, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me to discuss this important issue.
You are a group of 17 medical schools and teaching hospitals, I think 80 professionals who have written to the federal government. You want the government to hold off on expanding the eligibility for medical-assisted dying to those with mental illnesses. Why? Why do we need a delay?
I think that our concern is that we represent provincially a variety of different medical schools across Canada, and we're just a little concerned about on-the-ground pragmatic implementation of this come March.
Why? What kind of challenges are there? Are people not trained up? Is it the way, the determinations that have to be made, who's eligible for medical assistance in dying who have psychiatric conditions?
I think it is all of the above. We recognize that excellent work has been done federally, but that there have also been a number of curveballs thrown to all of us who have anything to do with healthcare over the course of the last 2 years, including the COVID pandemic. And so that has delayed things. And so we don't want to derail the excellent work that has been done up until now by rushing to meet an arbitrary March 17th date. This is not a delay forever, or not even a delay for a significant period of time. We want to just ensure that when this does get rolled out, that we're able to do it in a way that's going to be the most efficient and the most effective. And we're just a little concerned that we're now into December and not taking away from the excellent work that has been done up until now, but we're not going to be quite ready for a March 17th launch on the ground.
Okay, I read an article and I read your letter, and I saw some things referred to that are, you have to train everyone up, and some of the determinations you have to make are not easy, and some are complex, and people have to be up to speed across the country on it. And I saw two references. One is about suicidal patients who may be availing themselves of this option, but they're basically just committing suicide, and the other is about trying to determine who have irremediable or incurable conditions and who might respond to medication. Are those two of the problems in terms of making determinations?
Well, we just want to make sure that we have individuals trained up to be able to differentiate between the two. I firmly believe that there is a difference, as do many. This is not an anti-MAID statement, but we just want to make sure that we have adequately prepared the practitioners so that they're going to be able to feel comfortable making decisions around this.
Okay, this is physicians across the country. We're talking, what, tens of thousands of physicians or thousands of physicians?
Well, certainly not every psychiatrist is going to participate in the MAID process. This is going to be people who choose to be part of this process, but we also need time to train up those who do choose to be part of the process and to be able to ensure that everyone is very clear on the pathways, that we have the right educational models created, and that those processes get implemented at the provincial level. And again, the provinces are exhausted, and so we just want to ensure that we don't move too fast so that we don't lose all of the hard work that's been done up until now. Okay,
two last questions. One is then, and I think you alluded to it, you're not making a stand about whether you're for or against MAID applying to people with mental illnesses. You're just talking about training people up to be able to make that determination?
Absolutely. This is the on-the-ground implementation. We want to ensure that the best processes are in place for practitioners, for patients and their families.
Okay, the other question is, I think you alluded to it, and you said you're not asking for a long delay. What is it, bigger than a bread box? What kind of delay are you, what kind of time frame are you thinking?
You know what, that is literally a great way to phrase it. You know, we don't have a firm, it has to be X amount. We want to be involved and help with the process so that sometime in the near future that this gets rolled out in a way that's effective. I know that a huge amount of work has been done both provincially and federally, and that a lot of thought has been put in, and we're close. And so we just want to make sure that we don't rush these last few months. And so I don't think we need to reinvent the wheel. I think there's been a lot of engagement and consultation. We just want to ensure that when it is implemented, that it's done properly.
And for our viewers who aren't aware, there was a 5-year grandfathering put in for people to avail themselves for conditions that are mental illnesses. There was a 5-year extension to study to determine guidelines and to train people up. That expires, or that comes due, comes open, if you will, in March, mid-March. We've been told also that the parliamentary committee studying this is also delayed. So is your hope that that might also delay implementation? I mean, obviously there's a lot of people who are anxiously awaiting this.
Well, and that's part of the issue. You know, we don't want to have this roll out too fast and then it's a clunky rollout and that delays access even further. This is actually to ensure that this is done in such a way that people have access in the appropriate time frame. And, you know, if we make missteps, there could be further pause, and that's going to complicate access even further. We want to work with the government to ensure that we're on the same page and that this is a successful process.
Okay, Dr. Valerie Taylor, thank you very much for taking the time, and we will watch this obviously with great interest.
Thank you.